Here's what I want you to do. Find a quiet, secluded place so you won't be tempted to role play before go. Just be there as simply and as honestly as you can manage. Let's just be ourselves tonight. The focus will shift from you to God, and you'll begin to sense His grace. God's grace is amazing. It finds beauty in everything. God, tonight, we want to sense your grace in our lives, your stillness. be still and know that I am God. Just in the stillness, focus.
My days are full of possibilities, none more exhilarating than when I cross the threshold of grace. Sky opens and space clears, a radiant landscape of belonging unfolds. And held, circled by love, I stand in sunlight and remember faithfulness. Warmed and awakened, I am stilled by wonder and breathe deeply of this subversive beauty. Grace never loses its power to startle, to wrong foot, to scandalize. Limitless and immeasurable, there are no strings attached.
This track's called Morphed, and it's about being changed. Being changed for the better. God, tonight I want you to change me. I want to be a positive role model. I want to be someone that brings grace and beauty into people's lives. Let's be changed. Good evening to you all. I can see we've got some people from Mexico, Guatemala, the UK repping. Welcome. Switzerland, Argentina, hola, hola, amazing. Will you burn? And will you blaze? Will you burn? We want to be changed by you. And we want to be used by you.
Captivate me, life giver. Shape, fashion, and mold my reluctant heart. Light the gloom of darkened thoughts. Dismiss the immobilizing misery of fear by your transfiguring presence. Thaw my cold indifference and unseat the grip of winter too long tolerated. Sculpt the granite of my stubborn will, chip and chisel at the block of my resistance, and work the grace of your artistry. Burn and blaze, guiding star, through uncharted ways, and lead me to holy ground.
This is Quiet Voice. It's about listening to God's whisper. The small, still voice. It wasn't in the earthquakes. It wasn't in the fire. It was in the whisper. Listen. In the car. Listen. In the stillness. Pause. Take a moment. Reach out. Reach out.
Even the magnificence of the storm roar failed to awaken him. Entangled by a shroud of misery, exhausted, angry, and so desperately alone, he was unimpressed by the raging wind and driving rain. Predictable, he thought. The violence of the earthquake momentarily distracted him, but too lost in his own despair, he remained unmoved and bound. The flames, as spectacular as they were, failed to stir him. He was no longer a prophet who dealt in fire. The knots seemed to tighten. Despairing, numb, he barely heard the whisper. Unexpected, gentle, tender. The voice named him, and he was undone.
God, we want to be undone by you. Everything that we are, we want you to smash it up. Remold us, remake us, fashion us to be more like Jesus. This is Over the Water. It talks about God's voice being majestic, hovering over the world, hovering over the countries, hovering over the oceans. God's voice is over you. God's voice is over me. It's exciting. It's exciting that God is alive, that He speaks today, that His voice is over us. If we just take the time just to be still, to open our ears and to hear the quiet whisper of God's majestic voice. It's amazing. So good.
I'm looking at my hands, holding them up to my face. I smell them, taste them, rub them against my cheek. I know these hands better than anyone, yet I scarcely know them at all. And the ends of my arms are the hands of God. If I were you, God, I'd change the world. Fill empty bellies, heal broken bodies, balance the imbalanced, find the lost, trip up the powerful, brighten the miserable, enlighten the confused. People wonder, you know, why you don't release the hostages, quieten the gunfire, stop the bombs, why you don't get politicized. Why you don't prick the consciences of those holding prisoners of conscience. Why you don't topple fascist regimes, make everyone vegetarian, stop motorways erasing forests, fridges erasing ozone. Why you don't end racism, sexism, ageism, sizeism, atheism, obviously. If I were you, God, I wouldn't have done things your way, opening your hands wide for this world, only for us to split them wider, seeing we could do with a hand and giving us both. And there's your spirit, of course, still moving over the face of the deep and the shallow. And there's us. This I would have done differently. We are your hands now, and we no longer nail them. We just tie them tight, knotted with a million excuses. If I were you, I'd move that spirit on us. Change us from cynical to hopeful, cold to warm, indifferent to motivated. Change us into people like Jesus, uncurling our frozen fists, spreading hands wide despite the hammer's risk. I suppose your way has worked. You have changed the world. But it's still hard to imagine a place called future, where dying is history, where the present can be seen in context, where the random and the chance and the meaningless are pieces you have fitted in a transcendental jigsaw, where tear ducts are only used with laughter, where your hands are indistinguishable from our hands. Look at your hands. Hold them up to your face. Smell them. Taste them. Rub them against your cheek. You know them better than anyone, yet you scarcely know them at all. On the ends of your arms are the hands of God.
Amazing. What a great poem. That these hands are the hands of God. It's up to us to do the work of God here on earth, to show grace, to show beauty, and to care and share kindness. All good, all good. Thanks for joining me tonight. I've really enjoyed it, actually. And so thank you for joining me. I think I'm going to do this again because that was quite a delight. So I'll probably do one at the end of March, which will be awesome. So I hope you liked that. Just want to leave you with one final piece, which is called Masterpiece. And it was a blessing that was written by a good friend of mine called Mandy Baton. And no matter what stage of life you're at, no matter who you are, just read the words. This is written for you. But I'll leave with this. Thanks for joining me. Awesome. Thank you.